How you doing, guys? Welcome to Monsters and Mazes. I'm your host, Mr. No One. All right, welcome to day 2 of Hexplore24. All right. Before we get started, I do want to say that, if I didn't mention it already, we are using Warriors of Red Planet, so it's very science, fantasy, sword and planet style, kind of John Carter of Mars, the whole nine, Barsoom. All right. I have decided that this is going to be, the actual planet that these guys are on is Barsoom. However, it's 100,000 years into the past, so that it doesn't really affect the things for John Carter. I don't know. I just wanted to put it out there. It's ancient enough to where it doesn't really matter, and it can still be nothing needs to be familiar with this, right? As far as where they go, what they do, who they meet. So we're not going to have they're not going to be any super important NPCs from the Barsoom series by Edgar S. Burroughs. So it's just to avoid all that. All right. Now, in this one here, it's a self-contained game. You don't really need these other books. I prefer them because this one has the tables and some of the the monsters that I'm looking for that aren't necessarily in here, and the classes from Old School Essentials. You can port them over into Warriors of the Red Planet without any problems. All right, it's all compatible, which is good. All right, done and dusted. Okay, last we were together, the party had pushed themselves a couple extra hours into the dark. They missed they had a chance, a good luck streak as far as not being seen or messed with by the white apes. It was a pair of them, so they basically just hear them in the darkness. That's really it. They're still in the mountains, so what we're going to do is we're going to roll for getting lost, and if they get lost, then we will figure out. Now, as far as I know, as far as we know, they're headed in the same direction that they started, so that's their intended. Let's see what happens. 9. So no, they do not get lost. All right. So what is the next? The next hex. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll the D20 for the hex, D8 for the if there's a feature, and of course the D12 for an encounter. And all right, we end up from mountains to hills. All right, which okay. And on the encounter, we got a 7, so that's a no-go. And on the feature, we got a 4, so nothing really changes. Well, we just get terrain. All right. And there's going to be days like that where all you get is terrain. All right, what is the next one? All right, unless otherwise indicated, and unless they have a specific goal, they're going to continue on in a straight line path for the next few days, or the next couple of days at least, and then return not necessarily in the same hexes they could, but the idea is that they want to kind of discover a few things. All right, so it stays hills, and we don't have any features, but we do have an encounter, so we will go ahead and it's hills. All right, awesome. All right, let's find out what kind of encounter these guys end up having. All right. Okay. All right. All right. What do we got? We got jungle, hills and mountains. All right. So we'll roll percentile. 37 is an army. I don't know what that is. I'm going to be honest with you. So we go to the hand, go to an arme. What is an arme? Is it like a leg? Oh, it's a beetle. Alrighty then. Okay, so there's no number appearing for this. So what we'll do is, and have like 1d3 hit. So yeah, this is just a classic. Yeah, it's an orange beetle-like beast that typically live in shadows beneath rocks, in buildings, wrecked ships. They are scavengers, but are not above running down prey. All right, and they're poisonous. All right. Well, oh wait, number appearing. Oh, their swarms usually number 10 to 40. Oh, that helps. Now I don't have to worry about looking that up. 10 to 40, so it's 1d4 times 10. Sure. All right. 1d4, we get 30 of these things. Oh, great. And they move 150 feet. Yay. All right, so it's a swarm. All right, well, we're gonna use our monster reaction tables. Just maybe we get, well, okay. So we're gonna go ahead and do the encounters like we did before. First, we're gonna work with surprise. All right, so we'll have Beetles party. Okay, nobody is surprised. That means that, all right, encounter distance. What do we got? We got 10, 15, 150 yards. So that would take, oh man, I could do math. At least 3 rounds for them to actually make it. So it'd take about 3 rounds. I know what, oh, okay, anyway. Pretty sure these guys are gonna run because 30 of these things. All right, so 2d6 just per, oh yeah, let's roll initiative. All right, real quick. Okay, now, I guess I mentioned it last time. If I didn't, I don't remember. Initiatives, I re-roll. All right. Okay, the Beetles have it. All right, and what are they going to do? We will roll our 2d6. We have a 8. Oh yeah. Haha. 8. Okay. Is uncertain. Roll again. 8. Well, technically 9. 9. Possibly friendly. There we go. That's better. Friendly just means they don't. Yep. Okay. 6 and 5 is going to be, of course, 6 and 6, 12, and of course, friendly. So all that means is they don't really care. Like, they're not really, that's good. They're scavenging. Yeah, they're scavengers, so they're not above. Yeah, but we're not really taking advantage of the numbers. Yeah. Either way, yep. The numbers have said so. Once again, these guys are ridiculously lucky in those reaction tables. So they're skittering off. Maybe there's something else. Maybe there's I know why. Because they've already feasting on, I don't know, a thoat body. Maybe. All right. So maybe it's a carcass. They're doing what they're going to be doing. All right, no problem. Crisis averted. Next hex. And it can just be just like that. Not everything's going to try to kill you. Some things will. You read the descriptions of the actual monster just to see whether or not that happens. Okay, so once again. Here in the hills. Oh, yeah, wrong one. Hills. We are now back in the mountains. All right. And we have a 5 on the encounter and a 4 on the feature. So once again, we are back in mountains, and that covers it for the day. So it took 3 hours to cross. Yeah, for hills, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 3 hours to cross. So we have 2 of them, that's 6 hours. And of course, mountains are 4 hours, so that's 10 hours. No wasted torches. They find encampment and that's it. Day 2, once again, and I'll make a little mark to tell me that I actually had an encounter right there, so that I remember when I'm writing this up. That's it. Well, next time, maybe we'll have some kind of actual encounter where there's nothing they can do to change that. I do want to. There is some mechanics for the players, for the characters. I want to be able to roll for the characters to see what they're going to do. If, say, for instance, that they get initiative or get surprise, do they run or do they make the random decision not to? There is a chart in the Judges Guild Ready Reference Sheet 1, which is the only one they've got. And I'm going to find the chart, print it out, and do what I did with and just probably glue it in the back. That way, sometimes I'm going to want to do that. Instead of me thinking for them, I'll allow the party, the player, the player side of this solo to make that random choice, right? Because that does matter sometimes. Anyway, that was it. So, and realistically, other than me having to explain it, most of this stuff would occur in your head, if you have a conversation. Of course, as I'm writing it up, it's a little more descriptive. Whenever I make annotations in the, here in the diary, it's basically like bullet points, maybe a small blurb, but, as I'm going through my day, I'm like, okay, let me play it back in my head. Like, what is it? What would sound neat? And then I just, expand upon it. Making it a little more enjoyable for you guys to actually read and to kind of have that, because this, I don't have a lot of room and I'm doing that on purpose. So it's bullet points, brief notes, so that I can look at this and I'm like, all right, cool. It's day 1. We go to the thing. I can go to the blog. All right, what was day 1? Whatever. It's pretty much it. And it is what it is. All right, well, this has been Monsters and Mazes. I'm Mr. No One, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 3. All right.